session. And I missed one of my other ones too. I'm not sure why it was acting up. Do you still reach the door?
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone found a Mazda remote on grid. If you're missing a Mazda remote, last seen on grid, come to garage 16, please. A Mazda remote, garage 16.
Oh, probably getting better at that. Can almost get my ass small enough to fit in the seat. Where'd the communicator go? Do you have it?
What's that?
Do you have the communicator?
I do not. I don't know where it went. I saw you have it out there.
Is it still out there?
Does that mean it's on the car?
I don't think it's on the car. It's on the seat. Can you do without it?
I can do without it.
Yeah, as long as it's not gonna fly off the car. So, hand signals.
Yes.
You put your, where I can see, I won't be able to see.
Yep.
Thumbs up or thumbs down if you need to come off the track.
Okay.
We won't be able to talk.
Okay. Sorry, we're colliding. I'm still.
What? You don't need to apologize. So this ought to be, but racers are done with it. The track ought to be dry now. So it should be a pretty good session.
10-minute call, instructors to the grid.
I like how in the garages you can clearly hear the announcements.
Yeah, it's nice.
The paddock is kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
Great. Tires should have a lot more stick today.
Yeah. Man, I love these harnesses.
Do you?
Well, you know,
They make a difference when you're not holding yourself in the seat.
that is exactly what it
Yeah.
is, Mike. That is 100%. Because, like, you get to a point where in cars like mine, you can pull enough G's
Yep.
where it's effort to just,
Yep.
like, you feel it in your ass muscles.
I feel it. Actually, I'm sore from yesterday and the day before.
Yeah.
From your car and the other cars I rode in. Even in the passenger seat where you got your hands to hold on with.
Well, yeah, and also that was in the wet.
Yeah. Although your car pulled really good in the wet
Yeah,
in terms of G's.
It does, doesn't it?
Okay. Got your helmet strap done up?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm all over today. I got the truck here, the trailer's down where I left it.
Uh-huh.
Nice thing about getting the car in the garage last night is I got it dried out.
Right. That's one thing that's nice about this ride is I know I'm not going to get soaked.
Yeah.
That is my only complaint about our ride yesterday.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
Well, it's just because you can't dry out.
Yeah, that's true. Once you get wet,
mean,
you're
my
wet.
whole leg was wet.
You know where it came from? I'm actually thinking it came from, which leg was it? Left leg?
This left leg.
I think it came from under here.
Yeah, I
if
think
you
it
look
did.
down, you can actually
Yeah, we were talking about
you
that.
can see the ground down there.
Yeah, it's just that it never dried out. Even when I took my pants off last night when I got home, they were still soaked. seatbelt check.
Yep.
Good.
What you may want to do too, once we get out,
Yep.
is grab onto your shoulder belts and give them, as you sink into the seat, they'll loosen up a little bit.
All right. That's a good tip.
Use gloves today. Yeah, it ought to be. Actually, I had to dig out the sunglasses. The run this morning, everything was going great, and all of a sudden there was this yellow, eerie glow coming from up in the sky.
Right. So it's so funny, like in our class session,
Yeah.
there were basically 3 instructors in there, all basically arguing about what the right line was through particular corners. I mean,
Well, you'll find out actually in a lot of places there is a valid argument for that.
100%.
And I tell you what, they're also talking about with braking is you do want to get to close to 100% threshold braking, but they're very concerned with new students.
Yes.
That they get into the brakes.
Right.
And one of the things that they don't do here that I kind of wish they did, they do it at Porsche, is they do a braking exercise, which is intended to, you get the car up to 50 or 60 miles an hour and you plant the brake pedal and you stop it as fast as you can.
Okay.
And they don't do that here.
Yeah.
And I tried doing it with my novice student on the track, and it's hard to get an opportunity to do it and give the student enough warning to realize what they're trying to do. But you'll find when you get to an advanced level, the biggest thing that holds you back is the brakes.
Right.
The brakes are the most powerful thing on the car.
Right.
And
people don't recognize that.
No, they don't. It's actually amazing. We teach a car control school for teenagers, and you know, if you in terms of horsepower, the brakes even on a Toyota Corolla or some little grocery getter are still 700 or 800 horsepower. Right. Especially on the first stop.
Yep.
Now, where the race car brakes are different is they'll do it over and over and over again. And these brakes on this car have got, you know, a large duct that feeds them.
Right. You know, I was telling you I went to the Porsche driving school.
Yeah.
Which is their, you know, on track, and it's in Birmingham, Alabama.
Okay.
And one of the things that was really great about that is it's broken up into, you know, the track at the, what is that? It's I can't remember the name of that track.
I don't know the name of it either.
Anyway, it's a fairly well-known track, but so you have on-track time, then they have a skid pad.
Okay.
And so, you know, you do a lot of exercises, intentionally spinning cars, and then exercises where you're doing figure eights as fast as you can.
Yep, figure eights, one of the exercises we do at the car control school.
Yeah, on a skid pad. That's basically like black ice.
Oh, it's all wet?
Yeah, well, it's not just wet, it's actually a slick surface.
Okay.
That they water.
Yeah, we'll use water, and the fire department comes by and puts foam down on it. That foam is real slippery.
Right, and this they have a coating, and then they just wet it down, and it's basically like ice.
Yeah, there's a skid pad at the police academy. We're not allowed to use this like that. You can't even drive on it.
Okay.
And in fact, they tell us if somebody drives on it, we'll give them a ticket.
That's funny.
But that's what that's intended for, is they wet it down, it gets very slippery.
And then they have another thing where you do coursework in a parking lot, kind of like an autocross, where you do things like the braking exercises and trail braking and throttle steer and some actual autocrossing. So it's actually I found that it was a very well done instruction, because it really gave you exposure to a lot of elements of driving.
So what you're balancing, and you can ask Dave about this when you get the chance, is you're balancing the maximum braking effort the car can give you with, or you're doing a compromise between the maximum braking the car can give you and keeping the car balanced.
Right.
This car in particular, your car too, if you keep it balanced, it will give you a lot more. And like I said, the peculiar thing about turn 8 at TWS is if you only give it a little brake, you can fly through there. If you give it more than a little bit of brake, you feel like you have to brake a lot more and you're a lot slower through there. Because braking the car has upset it enough that it doesn't have the grip that it has when you keep it balanced. And you know, like I said, every driver is different. Every driver's got their own style.
Right.
there are very few real wrong answers.
Right.
Generally speaking, early apexing is always wrong.
Yes. Right.
I guess that's a 2.
What is the?
You'll have to give a thumbs up too. So when we're ready to go, just make sure he sees the thumbs up so he doesn't kill us. But you know, depending on the driving style, some drivers are ultra smooth. Some are just kind of like wild, but both techniques kind of work actually.
Right. It's funny too because you see that all the way up to even like
all the
Formula
professional
1,
levels.
right?
The professional levels do the same thing.
Sure.
But
you see how, you know, strengths come out in certain track conditions or track situations.
Yeah.
Where sometimes the smooth guys are rewarded in ways that the not as
well,
smooth
but the
guys.
not smooth, again, it depends. The not smooth guys can. Well, okay, let's back up for a minute. Everybody's still kind of smooth. Smoothness is always there. It's just a matter of how much they're throwing the car around.
Right.
Because Lally throws the car around a lot, but it's smooth riding.
Right.
But it's a lot of pitch and catch. And you know, the thing that Lally had going for him was he was so confident in his car control skills.
Right.
He would intentionally, like in turn 1 at TWS, he wanted to scrub a little bit of speed. Instead of hitting the brakes, he intentionally kicked the car sideways
Right.
and then caught it.
Right.
And he does it so well, and so you can tell it. You know, he meant to do it, and he does it really, really well. So what are we up to now? 66 degrees. It's actually not much
It's warmer than that.
Except because we're in the car. Love the music, the Starbucks. somebody by and they're getting angry. I think they're going by him anyway. Well, that's a cluster right there. That blue car is falling. Yes. there better? In this car, anyway. That turn is still a little slippery. That was awesome.
That was.
He was coming up on us like we were parked. Car didn't like that. little slide there. it just burns.
Right.
You get just right, and it's a little wiggle there, that's really it. So the idea is sometimes you can straight shot this, go over the curves. What seemed to work for this corner here was getting on the brakes all the way to here, then boosting it a little bit and getting to come around.
That is almost exactly what JC
What?
should be.
Is it? Good car, good car. Whew. That was intense.
It was a long session, it seemed like.
Huh?
I said that seemed like a long session.
No, it was half hour. Which was supposed to be.
Oh, so you have longer sessions than we do.
Well, your session, next session might be longer too.
Oh, okay. That was a good time.
Thank you. Yeah, kind of. You know, it's one of the things I did was when I had that little burble,
Yep.
I slowed down.
Yes.
That was intentional. That's why I let the blue
Yep.
car by.
Right.
It was because my mind was not in it. So if that happens to you, take a break.
Right.
It
Back
doesn't
off.
take much. You know, be back off for 30 seconds.
Yep.
Get back into it. Better do that than have something happen to the car.
Sure. I like how you adjusted your line between 8 and 9.
Yeah, I'm trying to get up on the curbing there.
Yeah.
And you notice it gave it. That was actually the hottest run we had down
Yes,
to
I did.
down to 11.
No, and like that line that you took, like if you talk to this man, Dave Scott,
Yeah.
that's the line that you should be taking. In terms of maximizing
You
your
far enough
speed.
away from the wall to be able to do
Yeah,
that?
yeah, plenty.
Whew.
That was good. It was awesome. Hot.
Yeah, everything is hot. So David said that he wanted her to get a little exercise. Well, I say she got exercise.
Yep. Well, that's good. And that was pretty spectacular when
Really?
that GT3 came by us.
Yeah. Oh, that was
Under
awesome.
braking.
Yeah, by just getting up on the curbing there at 9, I was hitting the red line as we're going to the braking zone for 11. And then, see, I held the brakes all the way down into the apex,
Uh-huh.
and that's trail braking,
Right, right.
which these cars excel at. But you got to be very careful with trail braking because it goes from being okay to not okay very quickly.
Well,
Yeah.
because you unloaded
Yeah.
weight off the back,
Yeah.
so you can step out on it.
Yep.
But that was spectacular.
Oh, good.
That, well, that GT3 coming around.
Yeah, that
us.
was very. I was actually when he went by, I'm kind of like, man, I hope he's got the skills to do
Right.
that. Yeah, it's kind of like, I hope he knows what he's doing, man.
Well, last year I rode with JC in his GT3,
Yeah.
and that's
Here?
Yes.
Oh, that must have been a blast.
Oh, dude, we pulled the 226.
Wow. So that 252 that we did, or 251,
Yep.
I think that is a personal best for me. Let's
Awesome.
see. Let's see.
It felt good too.
Yeah. One of the cool things about having data, I can see.
Isn't that funny? Like the ones that feel the cleanest,
They don't feel fast.
they
Are
don't
the
feel
fastest?
fast, are the fast ones.
Yeah. I don't know enough about this to do. I saw the 252 when we went through there. There was a 252.1, 252.2. Oh,